The Crossan Cottage has a new addition, and her name is Lucy. She is just the sweetest thing, and we love her, and she's growing so quickly before our eyes, and she's the perfect addition to our family. Hopefully you love thrifting as much as I do, because my parents watched the kids for me one afternoon, and I got to go to some of my very favorite thrift stores, which is a very rare occurrence with 3 kids these days. So I got to go to a couple thrift stores that I absolutely love, and I scored huge. I was going with the mindset of, would Nancy Meyers get this? And if you're new here, I love the Nancy Meyers aesthetic. I think it is so timeless and cozy and just creates a great feeling of home. So all these thrift finds had that inspiration in mind. But without further ado, I'm going to just jump right in and show you everything that I got. I'm going to tell you prices, and I also have quite a few things that I got at HomeGoods. I had no intention of stopping at HomeGoods, but I figured why not? I'm out, so we'll just pop in. And of course that was a mistake, because I found many things that I had been on the hunt for, and things that I thought would just work perfectly in our home. So let's just get into it. The first place I stopped at is one of my favorites. It is a little hidden gem. They have better prices than Goodwill does these days, and they always have so many good quality finds, and so I love to pop in there. It's the furthest away from me, so I don't get to go there that often, but today I was hitting all the thrift stores. So I went there first, and I found this ginger jar, which I'm always on the hunt for blue and white pieces to add to my collection. This one was only $6.89, and it looks really authentic. It doesn't look like a reproduction, where the reproductions can be kind of like bright blue. This is more of like a muted blue, and I just thought it was so pretty. Of course, I had to snag that because you can never have too many blue and whites, especially if you collect them. So that was the first thing that I got. The other thing that I picked up while I was there was the new decorating book. I believe this is like a 2001, 2002 version of this book. Oh no, it's a 1997 version. So I love it even better. The 90s decorating is just like the epitome of cozy. So I picked this up, and as you can see, I have already made some notes and post-it notes here, flagging pages that I find really inspirational, and I'm already going through a second time just browsing and reading, and this is just like, I love this. After I read my Bible in the morning, I like pick up a decorating book and just peruse through the pages if I have time, if the kids haven't woken up. But I just love this. I believe it was under $5. I think I took the price tag off, but you can never have too many coffee table books, and I love this one. This is my new favorite. While I was there, I also found this bowl. It's like a fruit bowl or like a display bowl, but I have so many white serving bowls that what's one more? So I got this. I think I took the tag off, but I think it was like under $6, so I couldn't pass it up, and I could just do a lot with this. After that, I popped into Goodwill, and I found so many treasures there as well. I don't love going to Goodwill a whole lot these days, just because, as you know, I'm sure in your area, the prices are just crazy, and I think it's ridiculous to pay top dollar prices for secondhand items. That just takes the joy out of thrifting. So, but I did find a couple of things, and I thought that they were pretty reasonably priced, so I picked them up. This was probably the very first thing I think that I put in my cart. I always look at their faux florals, and they always have some type of orchid, which I love. I think that is so timeless. And this one was like a lime green. I'm always drawn to like the white orchids, but this one I just thought was a really pretty like lime green color for the spring and summer season. And it also came in this like dark bamboo planter. I thought it just looked really realistic and very elegant. So I am excited to style this and see how it looks as opposed to all the white flowers that I have. We're gonna give this a go. And this was $8.98, so it's pretty pricey for a faux floral at the thrift store, but I loved it so much, and I knew that I would regret it if I didn't get it, because you can never have too many flower arrangements, and this one will never die, so that's a big bonus. The next thing that I picked up was this tray, and I almost put it back it was $5. I almost put it back because I have so many wicker trays and just trays in general, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with all these? There's only so many places that I can put trays, I feel like. But this one I loved because it was like a dark wood and it had like these little brass details on here, these little brass flowers. I figured this could be like a serving tray for like breakfast in bed or something for our guests. So I picked this up and I really like it because I feel like all the baskets that I have are like light wicker, something like that, and this was just a little bit different. It was wooden, or I have like a lot of silver trays too, so this kind of gives me another option to use. And I thought this would be really pretty, maybe styled on my coffee table when the kids get a little bit older and stop pulling stuff off of there. But I love this, and I think that it would look really cute styled, so I'll take you with me and style that maybe a little bit later. Another item that I'm always on the hunt for at thrift stores are pillar candles. I don't know if you know this, but they are extremely expensive, even in Walmart. Getting even just plain white pillar candles can really add up, so I always look for these secondhand. This one was $2.98, and I loved the pretty green color of it. I have a ton of like cream and white ones, and I thought the green would be really pretty, a different one that I normally get. So I picked this up. It was $3, which I think is still a little bit high for a secondhand candle, but it hasn't been burnt, and I don't know, I figured I would just pick this up because I still think this is less expensive than the ones that you find at like Walmart or Target. So I like this one. Another thing that I always look for are like dishes, like this one. This has a really pretty scalloped edge, which I loved. I actually think this is just like a serving dish. It says Anchor Hawking. It might have even been like a storage container, but it didn't have a lid. So I picked this up. It was $2.98, and I love these because they act as perfect candle holders, and it just kind of elevates your pillar candles. So I got this, and we will maybe style it like in the tray. I thought could look really pretty, something like that. The next thing that I got was this tissue box. I don't know why, but I have been buying so many tissue box covers lately. So I have like a stash of them, and I just really liked this one. It was this pretty painted gold one with the lattice print, and I just thought that was so pretty. I need to scrub it a little bit, but this was $2.98, and I thought it was just so pretty to have, you know, tissues sitting out like in the hallway or next to the guest bed, and this just kind of fancies up your boxes of tissues. And they always have so many good ones at the thrift store, so if you're on the hunt, keep your eye out for these, because I feel like the thrift store is the only place that you should be looking to get tissue box covers. They always have a lot, and they are usually pretty reasonably priced. So sometimes when I go to the thrift store, I do have a plan, and I'm only looking for a specific list of items that I have jotted down in my phone, that I have specific purposes for at my house to use them. And this is one of the things that has been on my list to find. I found this shadow box. It's from Michael's, but it looks super old. It's still in the packaging. It says $8.99 originally, like the Michael's tag, but it was $4.98 at Goodwill, and I think this might be a tag that says $19.95. I'm not sure, but this is a shadow box, and I've been looking for one because when we went to my parents in Pennsylvania in October, we collected a bunch of fall leaves, and I wanted to bring some home and like shadow box frame them from my parents' trees and just kind of keep that piece of our trip with us forever, hang it up, and it's just the best memories. So I got this. I was hunting for this. I found it. I couldn't believe it, and I love the oak frame. It just looks very 90s, and I think it'll go perfectly with our decor, maybe hang in our bathroom or our bedroom. So I was very happy that I found this, and it's the perfect size for the leaf that we have. The next thing that I got, I almost didn't even touch it on the shelf. Like, it was just kind of out of the corner of my eye, but I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting I guess candle holder or something like that. I'm guessing maybe you could put a hurricane vase in here is what I was thinking. And I'm like, this is really heavy. I picked it up and I turned it over and it says Pottery Barn. So this is definitely like a hurricane vase holder, a votive, I guess you would call it. It was $6.98, which is pretty pricey, but I figured for Pottery Barn, that's not a bad price. And it's in great shape. It is missing like the metal or the glass hurricane vase. I think that probably came with this, but I have a million in my storage cubby, so we are good to go there. I love the ironwork detail, and I thought that for $6.98 for a Pottery Barn hurricane vase holder, I figured wasn't too bad. So we'll probably put a candle in here or maybe some florals. I don't know. I'll take you along as I style that, but I grabbed this, and even though I didn't really need it, I was like, I can't pass that up. So I have been on the hunt lately for silver champagne buckets. I think that you can use them for like florals, or obviously use them for like champagne, wine. When you have a dinner party or a holiday, it just kind of dresses up your bottle of, you know, juice or sparkling water, champagne, wine, whatever. I love having those on hand because it just elevates your table spread. But anyways, I saw this one, and it is a heavy glass one, and I have been seeing these all over, like on Pinterest. And although I have the silver ones, which I love, I figured a glass one would be beautiful for like summer. So I picked this up. It was $6.98. And they actually had two there. One of the other ones was like more crystal looking, like more design, but I liked just the simplicity of this one. It has some lines in it, which is, you know, fine, and I think that just gives it a little bit of detail. This was $6.98, and I figured it would be perfect for summer, like summer parties. The last thing that I got at Goodwill before I went to HomeGoods was this bird cage, and I honestly can't believe it wasn't scooped up, because I saw a couple people browse by it and like stop and look at it, and then I was like, you know what, I think this needs to go in my cart, because this just gives me very 90s vibes. I feel like my mom had decorated with like bird cages before. This is definitely not a real bird cage. I think it is just for decoration, because it has like a little clip right here where you can open it. This was $8.98, so kind of expensive, but I had it in my cart, and I'm like, I could put some florals in here. I feel like you could do a lot with this. This could be a beautiful centerpiece, or, you know, just accent on top of a cabinet or something like that. So I picked it up, and I almost put it back, and this lady was like, oh my goodness, that's such a good find. And so I was like, okay, you know, at least somebody is supporting me. So I decided to keep it, because I figured, I thought this might be something that I go home and I regret, and I think back thinking I should have just got that bird cage. So we picked this up, and I love it. I cannot wait to style it. I still don't really know what I'm going to do with it, but I love how pretty and kind of shabby, very Nancy Meyers. I feel like it kind of goes, maybe I'll put it out here, because it kind of goes with like my French country theme on my front and back porch. So I don't know, to be determined what I do with this.
If you tuned into my last video, you know I've been trying to hone in on my skills in watercolor and sketching, and I had previously taken a course on the platform Skillshare to try my hand at watercolor, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's my new hobby, and I just finished a class called Watercolor Landscapes Painting Your Dream Travel Destination. The online teacher, Caitlin Sheffer, was so helpful with her lesson for beginners, and I love the fact that I could watch these videos at my own pace. With 3 kids, that is so crucial. This community is amazing because you can browse thousands of creative classes in countless categories, from film, photography, sketching, watercolor, painting, pretty much anything you can think of. Skillshare helps me with that creative urge I often get, and now I have all these classes right at my fingertips to give me a new hobby and some downtime. It's all a hands-on learning approach too, so I don't ever feel intimidated, and I can learn at my own pace, which is really important. And the next class I'm taking is Botanical Drawings for Beginners, how to draw simple flowers, and you should join me. The first 500 people to use the link in the description will receive a month free trial of Skillshare, so you can get started today.
There is no such thing as just popping into HomeGoods for a quick sneak peek, because they have so many good things out, so many things that look like they would be found at a thrift store. Of course, they're a little bit more expensive, but I feel like to get exactly what you're looking for the type of aesthetic. They are just hitting the nail on the head. So let me show you what I got from there. The first thing that I picked up that I probably didn't need was this giant serving tray basket. It is absolutely massive. This was $25, which is expensive for a basket, but again, the prices in Goodwill, honestly, you're gonna pay half of that at the thrift store, and it's probably gonna be pretty banged up. So I figured my luck, I would not find anything like this at the thrift store, so I wasn't gonna hold my hopes and hold out for that. So I just picked this up at HomeGoods. Again, it was $25, which I feel like we're gonna get a lot of use out of it. We like to eat outside a lot, so I figured put all of our drinks or plates and like snacks in here, carry it outside. The kids, when they play in the pool, their little kiddie pool, they like to eat lunch on their towels, so I can bring out their lunch on this, and I just thought it was the perfect summer serving basket. The most exciting thing that I probably found at HomeGoods was a piece of art. I have been on the hunt for a really simple, neutral, beachy type print for behind our master bed, and I was having no luck at all on Facebook Marketplace. It's just really hard to find exactly what you're looking for. So I was perusing the art, and they have some amazing pieces there, very authentic looking pieces, but I found this one. And it is so perfect. It was $40, which was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. I really wanted to find something at the antique store or at Goodwill, but it just wasn't gonna happen. So $40 for this to find exactly what I was looking for was perfect. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but this is just perfect as it is. I love this. Even if I don't use it in our bedroom, which I will, I would use this someplace else in our house. So I love that. That's probably one of my very favorite finds of the day. And it wouldn't be a HomeGoods trip without getting a throw blanket. So I, of course, had to go look at their throw blankets. This was in the clearance section, but it was sadly not on clearance. I believe it was $19.99. And I just wanted a simple white one for our living room. The kids love to snuggle up with blankets first thing in the morning because we keep our house cold at night when we sleep. Even though we live in Florida, we like it very cold. So in the mornings they like to snuggle up on the couch, and currently we only have 2 throw blankets and I have 3 kids. So we obviously really needed this. So that's the case that I'm gonna plead to my husband when he finds out that I bought another throw blanket yet again. I also picked up these little coffee spoons. These are just simple silver spoons for coffee. I want to create a better coffee bar area in our kitchen. We drink a lot of coffee, usually 2 pots a day between my husband and I. So these were $5.99, and I just wanted to create a little coffee area with maybe like a little round basket, have some cute cups that hold these silver spoons for stirring. And I just wanted to create a cute little area, so I picked these up. I was looking for some vintage ones at the store, but had no luck, so I just got these. They're plain, but they will do the trick. This is another item that I picked up at HomeGoods. It was $14.99, which I probably, thinking back now, I probably should have waited and went to Hobby Lobby for something like this, but it's just some green moss to put in any flower arrangements that I do, like the tops of them, to just give it a more natural looking display. But I just loved this. I thought they were so pretty. It was the perfect shade of green. Sometimes you can get them where they look a little bit too like lime green. I probably could have done without this, to tell you the truth, but I will use this in crafts for years to come, hopefully. This is something that got me on the way out while I was checking out. I saw these flower stems, and they're from the Modern Home collection. They were $7.99 a bunch, which is obviously a lot more than you would pay at like Hobby Lobby, but I loved the color. They're like this peachy, dusty rose color, this like rosy pink peach color. Oh, it's just so pretty. So I got 3 stems because I figured these are gonna last forever. They were worth the investment at $7.99. And I loved the colors. I could use these all through the spring, summer, and probably even the fall, so I figured it was worth it. Again, I probably would never buy florals, again, anywhere but Hobby Lobby, but I just couldn't resist these. And in the checkout line as well, right next to those florals, was this terracotta pot. It looks so beautifully aged, and it was $4.99, and I figured I probably could, you know, find one at Lowe's and age it myself, but I figured skip that step. I'll just buy one like this, and it is so beautiful and perfect. I figured he's in this pot. Of course I have to like shape them and bend them, but I thought that was so cute. I could put this on my back porch and just give it a little pop of spring and summer, and I just love how these look together. So if not, I'll use this for something else, but it's always good to have a terracotta pot. That is like the epitome, I feel like, of Nancy Meyers style in the 90s. So just like that rustic French Italian look. I don't remember if I did a video on it, but we revamped our guest bathroom, which also is our kids' bathroom. We have 3 little kids and they all use that bathroom. So we recently just kind of did new paint, a new fixture, a faucet fixture, and what else did we do? I think that's really it. So, oh, a new shower curtain. So I also wanted to get them really cute hooks to hang their towels, and I found these on eBay. So I mean, I would consider that thrifting. I love eBay. You can find some really cool stuff on there. So I picked these up, and I just wanted to add like a little bit of whimsy to their bathroom. It's a mature bathroom because we have a lot of guests who use that when they come over. So I wanted to keep it not super kiddish, so this kind of adds a little bit of the whimsy back to their bathroom for them, and it's so fitting because we got our Labrador puppy. So now we have 3 little Labrador puppy hooks, and I just love that. So this is something that is going to go in their bathroom, and I will have to have do a little, maybe like a short video on that, so stay tuned. So that is my haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you think was the best find, and I hope you guys subscribe because I will be styling all these items, and I also have a bedroom makeover coming soon that I'm so excited for. Again, thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!